Okay, good evening. Today we will start with our second session. In this one, I will try to just go into detail with the baseline, update, and delay analysis. So for the next two, three sessions, we will just spend on these three things. But before going to that, I just want to cover our previous assignment because some of you guys have not submitted it, and Aslam is the new, so he can also learn from it. And the thing is, like this assignment, which I gave you regarding the S curve and histogram, these are the most important graphs in our which we normally use in the planning. So what I will do is this Excel sheet is visible to all?
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes,
this
sir.
is day and this is number of columns. Okay, just does anybody have idea because how can I bring the, let's say, day one here in this column? Can someone? So there is a formula, we call it is equal to left. So we'll just click on left and then I will click this one. Okay. And then he's asking me how many numbers you need. I need up to 5. So if you look here, this is directly coming here with this formula. So you need to memorize or you need to practice this formula because we use it most of the time in our works. Maybe Asif or Heather, they know about this, but okay, now this one I already took. I put it left A, 2, and 5. How I want to put now this 3, 5, 9, 12, all this here. What should I do? Anyone? So in that case, what I will do is I will just put right. And then again, he is saying select the text. I will select the same text. Okay, how many numbers we need from right? We need at least 2, right? So I'll just put 2. And now you can see it come 3, 5, 9, 12, 15, whatever was here. So these are the two formulas. We call it left and right, which also we use most of the time in our case. So I will just remove that formula now. I will copy and I will insert it as a value. So even the paste, there is multiple type of paste. You can insert it as a value. You can insert it whatever it was earlier. For example, if I copy this one, I want to paste it. If I go here in paste special, so there is all these kind of paste. It's not just control C and control V. We can do multiple type of pastings. Okay, now these are number of columns. I will go to just cumulative columns. And I will directly make it 3 is equal to this plus above. And we can drag it down. So now I want to, what was our exercise? It was to make histogram and then to make S-curve. Okay, so I will select all this data and I will insert here. Then I will come to recommended charts. So from here you can see there is different type of charts is showing me, but I don't want any of them. What I need is I need a combination because there is histogram and S-curve. We need to make both. So I will just come here. Just 1 second, because this is not numbers. I will just change this into numbers. They will also change it into. So once again, I will select this data. I will just come into insert charts, all charts, combination. To create combination, select at least 2 of the series data. Okay, let's go again. For the days, we can change it into dates also. Let's call it today is 21 March. And then every day we can make one more. Because this is not showing, let's see what is the issue with the formula. We need to select at least 2 series of data. Cumulative, and we can justify.
Sir, there is issue
Yeah.
with the number of columns.
Tell me, what is the issue with number of columns?
Now it is okay.
Okay, no problem. I think there is some. Okay, we have this one. Let's make it. We have date 21 March, and I will go just down up
Sir,
to, let's say.
cumulative column, make it
Yeah, tell me.
copy paste. Sir,
Okay,
cumulative column, make it copy paste.
we can check now. So let's call it daily, and we'll call it cumulative. So daily we have this one. Call it 3, 5, 9, 12, 15. So what we will do is we will come to this combo chart and we will make them two. So we need a daily, which is clustered column, and then cumulative, which is line. So we'll make the line as a secondary axis. So now this is coming as what we call it. This is our graph, which we are making it as a, let's say, as a histogram and also an S-curve. So what happens at site actually is normally your management or sponsor or the client ask you, okay, can you please tell me what you are going to do for next 6 months or what you are going to do for next 8 weeks, for example. So you don't give them this table because it doesn't look good. It doesn't give any like a presentation view. So therefore we go with these graphs so that they can read them very easily because it's very easy to understand, and also it makes a good impression that this is being made by some professional. And what happens is we use most of the time, like 80% graphs, we make these graphs because we want to show them as the histograms, like on daily basis, what we are going to do. This daily base can be weekly base also. Like for example, I can make it +7. So they can check also on the weekly basis. And I will just come here and make it text axis. And then also I can make it on the monthly basis. So normally all the time, because the project goes for 2 years, so they will keep on asking you, okay, how much we are going to do for the next 4 weeks, how much we are going to do concrete for next 6 weeks. So whenever you have to make graph, either daily or weekly or monthly, so you should know that how to make a graph. They will only give you this data, which is daily, weekly, or monthly. Like weekly, we are going 10. So every week you will 10 for 6 weeks. So cumulative, we have to make our own formula and we have to, what we call it, we have to drag the formula down and we have to go with the S curve, which is coming from this one. So for this one, there is also like a chart design. You can just go here and you can put here. So this data will also come here so that they can know that on 21st March we will do 3, 28th March we will do 5, and then 9, etc., etc., etc. And then you can of course change their colors. You can give it any color, whatever you want. You can change the color of this one. And normally what we do is, what I do especially, for the plan I go with this blue color, and for the actual I will go with we call it amber or orange. For the we go with the actual. So what happens is this is now our plan. So let's say today is the date, what we call it 21st March. So I will just put here daily actual. So now I have to see whether I have done these 3 columns or not. If I have done, well and good, I will just put it here. If I have not done, Then I will put here, for example, I have done 1, and then in the next column, I will put cumulative actual. It will again be 1. And then here I will put the remarks, like, okay, why I couldn't do. Was it the shortage of material? Was it the manpower? Or what was the issue? So that because I have to record these issues all the time, I cannot just like wait and I will think that I will remember after 6 months that why I did one column instead of three. So therefore, it's very important. Like you have to always record the things that okay, I did one. It can be my fault as a contractor, and it can also be client fault. Maybe they have not given me the design. Maybe the site was not ready. Maybe there was some issue with the client. Maybe there was a rain. Rain is also you can claim in some cases because it comes as a force majeure. So therefore, whenever we make plan, it's good. Okay, we made a plan. Then the next step starts, which is monitoring. So in monitoring, we don't only put the actuals, we also put the reasons of delay. Is it clear for all? Or
जी जी सर, अगर हम उसको जो हमारा प्लान है ना उसको अगर हम परसेंटेज में देखना चाहें तो।
okay, you can also say in percentage. For example, let's go. You have like weightage percent. Okay, weightage progress percent. Let's say planned progress. So you have date here. We will call it, let's say, March 25. Then you have April 25. And you want to see the percentage only for this a specific example, or you are talking general?
Like like we have made the graph, and if we want to see the percentage, what we our plan will be on 25
Okay,
of April,
okay,
percentage plan.
no problem. We can just you just put here. Okay, let's call it weekly percent. Okay,
Okay.
and then we will call it cumulative percent. So this is our plan again. Okay, just forget about these three columns at the moment. We will hide them. Okay, guys, why I'm doing this Excel is because 80% of the time we use Excel at site as a planner also, because Excel everybody can read that. Your project manager can read that. Your site engineer can read that. Even a foreman can read Excel. But Primavera, no, like only you can read or few of the individuals can read because it's strictly related to planning. But in Excel, we can give the same Excel sheet to different people and ask them to update for us. So therefore, Excel is more important than Primavera for the planners. Because okay, we use Primavera, we need to know because if you don't know Primavera, you cannot get a planning job. But you need to know Primavera so that you can survive and you can make schedules. But most of the monitoring is done in Excel. So for example, to going to Heather question, I will just take the overall of this one. Okay, I will just take a sum of this. So I need total is 70. So what is the weekly average? I will just go here 3 divided by 70. Because in order to take, let's say, percentage, you should have the sum. So I will just come here. So you know this is 4%, and I will just, so you know what I did here? I fixed this column by putting dollars. This is also very important command. You guys have to go back to this lecture and write whatever I told you that what is important, because at the end you guys will, like after every hour, you have to do something like that. Okay, so once I will drive it, now I have this, and if you look here, the sum, overall sum will be 100%. So then I can also take the cumulative percent. So now I have this in percentage. For example, as Heather was saying, he wants to see in a percentage. So I'll just take these columns here. So now this one is in percentage, and also this one is in percentage. That's what you wanted to see, right? Like for example, by mid of April, we will be 21%. Okay, why it's
Yes, yes.
16. Okay, sorry. Yeah. So now it's okay. So what we are saying, by mid of April, we will be cumulative 63%. Sorry, earlier I said 21, but it will be 63 by end of April. So you can check in both cases. You can see as a numbers, and he was right. Like most of the cases, management ask you, they don't want to see numbers. They will ask you, okay, by end of April, how much percentage should be done. So from here, from this graph, you can easily see like, okay, either by end of April, which is this one, we will be 80%. Because now, if, okay, there is one more scenario now. Now you have made this schedule and you are saying that I will complete 70 columns in is equal to this minus this. And I will just change it to numbers. I will do it in, let's say, 56 days. It's like one column per day. Of course, your client will not be happy. Management will screw you, and you also. It doesn't look good. Like I will do 70 column in 56 days. So in that case, to cover ourselves, we can say that 80% will be complete by end of April. Only remaining 20% are how many columns we have, like 10 to 15 columns will be in May. So just to give them like, okay, it's not very disaster because we're finishing most of the works in April itself. So these are the things you have to explain them because whatever you present, they will question you. So you should be ready with answers because once you make something, just sit there for 5 minutes and talk to yourself. Okay, what they can ask me? Can they ask me if I am going with numbers? Of course, they can ask me what will be the percentage. So better, I will create one more graph with the numbers. So you can go with both graphs now. And also you can put both graphs in one table also. For example, I will take this one and I will paste it here. And just because I have to change the format now, change, let's say, chart type. I will make this daily clustered, cumulative, I'll make it line, daily again clustered and cumulative line. Okay. And now if you can see, so what's happening? Okay, because this is percentage, so therefore you cannot see, because if it was number, you can also copy paste them on top of each other. For example, I will just try to show you. So it can come like that if both are numbers. I will just make it 10 so that you can see both two. I will make it 20. So you can show them all these things in one chart. But for that, you have to practice it again and again and again. You have to ask different questions to yourself. Okay, I believe that it's clear now. And I tried to cover different scenarios. Is there any question from someone? Guys?
No, sir.
Thank-
Will we get the recording of these results, sir, to go through again?
Say again, I can't hear you.
Will I get the recordings of these sessions, sir?
Yeah, I will provide you the recording by today or tomorrow.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
So, this is the for construction of columns, right? Construction of columns from 21
Yeah.
March to 28 March, we are doing around 8 columns. So, that is the thing you are explaining, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sir. Okay, understood.
Yeah, it can be anything. It can be concrete because normally what happens is they will ask you, okay, next week what we are going to do. So you will tell them next week I will do 5 columns. And they can ask you,
Okay.
okay, for next 4 weeks what we will do. So you can tell them, okay, I will do 5 in next week, then 9, for example here, then I will do 12 and then 15. Okay, now I have a question. If you look here, it's going in one sequence and then it's going down. Anybody can explain that why it's like that? Why like
Yes, because in April we are at peak.
peak of what?
We are doing more columns. Uh, Peak of our work. Like we are doing more columns in this month.
Yeah, okay, that's good. Anyone else?
In April.
Practo,
Sorry?
does, like the Practo rule, does it have anything to do with Practo rule? 80% of the work is completed and 80-20 rule.
Yeah, 80-20 rule, yes, that's good also. So what happens is normally in any project, so because what's happening here, there is 3, 4 things. Okay, because you see here it's 3, then 5, then 9, then 12. So what happens, there is multiple things. So because your mobilization is ongoing, because you cannot mobilize all these people which are required here in one day. So you will go by like 5 people here, then 10, then 15, then 20. So mobilization will go like in a ramp. Like it will every week you will increase your manpower. Then you are bringing the manpower. Then maybe there is some design issues. Design is not complete. Technical shop drawings are ongoing, so you don't have all the shop drawings. So due to all these kind of things, so what happens is this is the initiation phase because you are just starting. And this one, which is here in April, this is like a peak phase, as Heather was saying. So you have like all the works and all the work fronts are, work fronts, one more thing. So here you have all the work fronts available. So therefore you are progressing in, let's say, 7, 8, 9, 10 buildings. And therefore and then once you, here it's again going less because you are demobilizing your manpower. Your work is almost complete. Work fronts are as less as possible. So therefore, this is now we call it closing phase. So this one is initiation phase. You have just started the works. This is peak phase, and this one is closing phase. Now these charts are applicable for any kind of activity, like for concrete, for cable trays, for HVAC, because then and also if they're electrical engineers. So for that also you need to tell your management that on weekly basis, for example, I have to pull 2000 linear meter of cables, or I have to do 200 square meter of duct, or I have to install 5 FCUs. So all these kind of things you need to tell them. But how you will draw those plans, this will come from our schedule. Okay, which I will pass now. Okay, so I will just go back to my lecture. Is there any question?
So you are saying that the things we are going to schedule in Primavera will be the input for these charts.
Yeah, exactly. Because you cannot like, okay, how I know that from where this 3, 5, 9, 12, 15 comes? It should come from Primavera. And I will teach you in the later stages that how we draw the graphs from Primavera into, because in the Primavera there will be 2 dates to complete the columns from 21 March to 16 May. And
Okay.
between this there will be multiple buildings. Okay. And then it will be distributed like a weekly or daily or monthly basis or yearly basis. You can see all this in Primavera. And we will take from Primavera, we'll put it into Excel, and then we will show these graphs to our management. We will not bring that Excel to our management. We will take this graph, we will copy this, Control C for example, and I will come here and I will paste it in my presentation. So to management, you will show them in the presentation. You can copy 3, 4, 5, 6 graphs.
Okay.
Understood, right?
Yes, sir.
So Asif, is this what you are doing nowadays in your project, or you are doing something else?
In doing this, sir.
You are doing
Like
this.
that way.
Yeah, Heather
Yes.
also, right? Or at least you guys are seeing the reports. Okay, now what I will do is for today's session, okay, this is still 5 minutes only pending, so I will disconnect now. So we'll reconnect again with the same link and we will start with our today lecture. Okay?
Okay, sir. Okay.